I don't know if you know this or not, but I've known Rip since about my second match in the business in West Virginia. It was probably my third match. I was going down to West Virginia to wrestle, and all of a sudden, Billy Coleman came walking in with a guy on crutches and another guy by the name of Hoss Swede. And Rip was the guy on crutches. He had went and did worked for the WWWF television, and I think Torres Anaga threw him out of the ring and messed his leg up somehow. So a curly-haired, well-built Mark Shire was on the show, but he was on crutches, and I wrestled Big Hoss Swede that night. I think that was in August of 1977 because my first match was in June, July, and I think August is when I first met Mark Shire. I think that's how you say your name, Rip.
That's right, yeah. God, that's wild. So I'm from Seymour, where Rip's from, and Hoss Tweed was from Seymour, right? He was, which one was
he? He was Hoss or Boss Tweed, one of the, yeah.
Well, he said Hoss.
It was Hoss.
Okay.
It was Hoss.
Okay, it was Hoss.
Do you remember who was who, though?
Yeah, Ed was Hoss, and then Chuck Nobbett was Boss. So they were both, Ed was a wrestler at Concordia Teachers College, and he was a school teacher at St. Ambrose.
Was he really?
Wow.
Yeah, a Lutheran, a teacher at St. Ambrose. And then because that's when, they sort of had the police escort me out of the building because they had me work heel. I never worked heel before. Hell, I still wasn't even smart. So I'm just doing stuff. Hell, I seen guys on TV do shit, right? I watched Captain Lou do this, Bobby Heenan do this. So I said, well, hell, I'll just do all that shit. I'm getting my shit in because I might be croaked tomorrow and I might be out of the wrestling business. So I got to go out there and do all that stuff. I guess I went a little bit overboard because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just knew that Coleman said, and I went to his house in Akron. It looked like the Munsters' old house. He said, well, my plane's being repaired. And he said, my Cadillac's in the shop. So we'll have to take your Pinto.
I remember that Pinto. Was that your Pinto?
Yeah, that was my Pinto.
I remember. I was going to say a Pinto. I remember seeing Bad Billy Coleman pull up in a Pinto.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, my future's so bright. I got to wear shades.
So this is when you got hurt? I've never heard this story that you got hurt.
I don't think I ever told it or not on here.
Do you remember how you got hurt?
Oh, yeah. I was working with Tanaka and Fuji. I was worked Allentown one day, and then we was at
Hamburg.
Hamburg. Okay. Yes. Tanaka and Fuji. And all I did was get up and my knee exploded. That was my bad knee I'd hurt in football, and it was always ready to go. And all I did was get up and boom, and my knee exploded. So I ended up having to have knee surgery. And years ago, this was before arthroscope, so they'd have to cut you open the whole way, and something that you could be out maybe 2 weeks. Now it was 3 to 6 months at that time.
Right.
So, but yeah, I was the total shitology, and I was the most rotten wrestler in the world. But it just shows you, no matter how rotten you are, if you keep hanging out, you're a fan, you love the business, you pick all the old guys' brains, you can learn survival skills in this business. And here I am, I'll be 70 if I make it in February, still hanging out, doing some kind of teaching, doing seminars, going to conventions, whatever, blah, 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 to the business I love. And it's up and downs, but I wouldn't change nothing about it.
Right.
Because this was the business that I love. And Bobby was the same. I said, get ready. I got the dots on. I got the elbow ready, baby. We're going to see it. Let's do it right now.